Hi crafty folks, it's Morgan Folk. Welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I'd go over some of the basics that you'll need for a basic sewing machine project. Let's jump right into it. Okay, so the first thing that you will need is, well, a sewing machine, obviously. So any sort of machine will work as long as it's functional. For sewing regular cotton, which is generally the easiest to start with, all you need is a machine that does a straight stitch, which is what you're used to. It just looks like a line of, dashes. That's what a straight stitch is. All right, so the next thing that you're gonna want is some thread. I like Coates and Clark, the brand. I also like, I think it's called Gutterman. Both are very good. I use the all-purpose thread generally. This one is 100% polyester. I sew a lot of clothes that are made with polyester fabrics, so I generally sew with polyester thread. And then you'll want some scissors, 2 different sizes of scissors. One is for cutting off those tiny little threads that are left after you've pulled your project out of the machine, and these ones are more for like cutting the actual fabric itself. You don't need to have both sizes, but they are handy if you happen to have them. Here's some needles. The sewing machine, the needles wear out, so you'll want to replace the needles so that they're nice and sharp and they don't have any like burrs or anything that would get caught on your project. You'll need some bobbins. So a bobbin is a little spool that you load with thread so that the bottom part of your machine has thread in it. The thread from the top has something to catch on when it goes through. So you have two strings of thread that are weaving through your fabric. If your machine comes originally with plastic bobbins, then you should always use plastic bobbins. And if your machine originally comes with metal bobbins, then you should always use metal bobbins. Okay, the next thing is you're gonna want something to measure. So these rulers are really handy. And then, there's other ways of measuring things. There's little measuring tapes and stuff. These are better for, taking measurements around the body if you're gonna be working out sizing for clothing. Another thing to have, this is called a seam ripper. So it helps you to be able to cut out the stitches without cutting your project. You should have one, just in case. Okay, and then clips. So I use these clips. I think I got them on Amazon. You can also use pins. So pins, are a mainstay So pins are a mainstay. So pins have been used for a very long time in sewing. And then of course, you'll want some fabric, depending on what the project is that you're going to be doing. An iron. I suggest ironing, even if you hate it, because it only takes a minute or two, and then you're done. And then your project has a way more professional and finished look once you're done constructing it. Another thing, and not a necessity, but just something I like to keep around, is I keep a little notebook at my sewing table so that if I need to change something about a pattern, or if I have small pattern pieces that I haven't cut yet that I still need to cut, I can make a note like, need to cut waistband, or, altered waistband to such and such dimensions or whatever. So I like to be able to note that down and keep it in a little notebook. Then later, if I'm like, what did I do to alter that waistband? I can go look and I can find, oh, I made it smaller by such and such. So those are pretty much the basics that you need to do a project. All right, guys, thank you for watching. If you feel like you got some value out of this, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.